kaya napili niya yung October, we have to make the necessary adjustments, lalo na on the matter of the assessment of the students and so on. But we are also hoping and praying that there will be changes in the health picture. Kasi itong desisyon na ito is based on what is happening now, what is now the status of COVID, particularly in the two regions. And if the picture improves, surely we will have to be making adjustment. And the president has that kind of power, which has been given to him by the law. Thank you, Ina.
Ma'am, last question na lang po on my part. Siguro po just a message to the parents, teachers, and learners who are na-move na naman po yung school opening natin. Thank you po.
Thank you. These are very difficult times. All of us know that, Ina. And things change on a day-to-day basis. Numbers change. And we have to adjust to these new situations. But if things get better, we can also adjust in a positive way. I know that it is difficult for us because we are used to school calendars. We are used to schedules. Ganito, kailan ang enrollment, ganitong araw ang examinations, ganitong araw ang last day of classes, ganitong araw, ganitong week ang graduation. Hindi na natin magawa ngayon yan dahil all over the country, the situation is different. And also, sa buong bansa, nagbabago din ang situation, which is affected also by the worldwide behavior of coronavirus. So, we have to be helping and understanding each other on this particular issue. But we thank really the parents for their patience and their children who are very impatient, wanting to go to school already, for their understanding and for their support. Thank you.
Ma'am, sorry, yun po bang postponement both for public and private school?
Yes.
Kasi may mga private schools na po na nag-open na. So, paano po sila ngayon na nakapagsimula na sila ng classes noong July?
Kasi usually itong mga private schools na ito, attached sila sa universities and colleges and local universities, locally established universities. And so, sabi na ang CHED na hindi sila affected by the law on school openings kasi nasa higher education sila. Although, mayroon silang mga basic education units. So, nakaumpisa na sila. And as I said, my favorite example is that school in Siquijor. June pa, nag-umpisa na sila. And I believe that they are doing well with the support of the local government. And sayang naman kung titigilan natin sila. Ang medyo sabay-sabay, yung hindi pa nakaumpisa at saka yung talagang pangmalakihan na kailangang ayusin ng husto. Thank you.
Thank
Alright.
you po.
Maraming salamat, Ina. Ang susunod na magtatanong, ma'am, si John Vic Mateo po ng Philippine Star. Go ahead, John Vic.
Hello po, good afternoon po. Question lang po on using the new law for the suspension of the postponement of the opening of classes. Wala pa po kasi yatang IRR or na-issue na po ba natin yung IRR para magamit natin yung bagong batas doon sa pag-postpone ng classes?
That's an excellent question. Kasi ang provision dyan, may IRR o hindi, ipagpatuloy na ang implementation. Nasa batas din mismo yan. Oo. Hinihintay natin yung IRR, pero si COVID naman hindi naman naghihintay. Ang sitwasyon hindi naghihintay. So, ginamit na ng presidente yung power na binigay sa kanya ng batas na yon, na siya ang mag-decide on our recommendation.
Yung the past few days, you raised some issues kapag na-postpone yung classes. May mga malinaw na po ba tayong gagawin to make sure lang na hindi mangyayari yung mga issues? Kasi sinabi nyo, naalala ko po yung binanggit nyo regarding dun sa readiness ng mga bata dahil tatanda sila kapag nag-postpone tayo further. Meron na po ba tayong mga pagbabago na gagawin, for example, sa curriculum just to make sure na pasok pa rin dun sa mga pangangailangan nila yung lessons natin by October?
Tama yung question mo dahil sinabi na nga namin sa report din namin sa presidente na mayroong trade-offs, no? But now that the president has decided, we will have to make the corresponding adjustments, no? Kasi siguradong apektado diyan ang curriculum, siguradong ma-affect diyan ang readiness ng bata. At saka tingnan natin, kaya mahirap to go beyond October. Aabot ka ng 1 year, you will lose 6 months of education for the child, and the child might even forget what he or she has learned. Especially may 2 months na silang summer vacation. Ito, haharapin namin dahil mayroon ng desisyon ang presidente. We'll have to find ways and means by which we can respond to this dahil these are really real constraints also and real challenges na the parents especially are concerned about this.
Last na lang po sa akin. Ma'am, balikan ko lang yung sa private schools kasi I heard that you said na kasama rin sila, but pwede ba nilang
Pakilakas nga dyan, Vic.
yes, ma'am, yung sa private schools, kasi you mentioned nakasama rin sila. Just want to clarify, kasi yung iba gusto nang mag-open by August 24. Pwede pa nilang gamitin yung autonomy nila dun sa pag-ayos ng guidelines nila. We have the manual for private schools. Pwede ba nilang gamitin yun para mag-open sila earlier than October? Kasi may mga concerns sa pasweldo ng teachers, among other issues sa private school sector.
Yun nga ang sinabi ko. Maraming private schools, bahagi sila ng universities, bahagi sila ng locally built universities and colleges. Mga sinasabi nilang LICs ba yun, local institutions, no? So, sabi nila, we are institutions of higher learning. It so happens that they have basic education units. So, sa tingin ng CHED, hindi sila apektado nitong batas na ito, and so they are proceeding and we respect that. Mayroong mga eskwelahan, I know, na nag-umpisa na sila ng June, pero ang constraint lamang talaga dito ay yung requirements ng MECQ. Kung Metro Manila ka, medyo may challenge to implement and to continue with learning as planned dahil sa mga requirements ng IATF at saka ng Department of Health. Mayroon talagang limitations. Like kami sa aming central office, we have to resort to mga skeleton forces, etc. So the capacity to work and to produce is vastly reduced. Pero be as it may, we have to be making adjustment. It is a challenge to the department, and we seek your understanding and your support because nasabi na nga namin talaga itong mga challenges na ito, and they are there. We recognize, we are not ignoring them. So the thing is to find ways of adjusting and making sure na una yung required sinasabi nating learning competencies masusunod, na hindi tayo madidistract sa fascination and obsession with elections by next year, na hindi tayo ma-affect masyado sa downturn ng economy. Hopefully mag-recover na ang economy. Maraming mga factors, but it's not as if we have a choice. Nandiyan na sila eh. At saka na-recognize na. The good thing is that we recognize them. And since we recognize them, we'll have to do something about it. And we need the help of media. We need the help of the various sectors who consider education as very important. After this press conference, we're going to have a whole day meeting of our management committee. And we will be discussing in detail. We will be requiring all our regional offices to submit the strategies which they are thinking of in order to respond to challenges which we already know. Alam niyo naman dyan, rini-recite namin yan palagi. Alam naman namin kung ano yung challenges na yan. Alam naman namin kung ano yung mga trade-offs while we are trying to adjust to the COVID situation in these two regions. Kasama na doon, of course, yung mga administrative costs and requirements. So, lahat yan sinabi namin sa presidente and gumawa siya ng choice. Kasi para sa kanya, ang importante is to keep the children and the teachers absolutely safe.
Salamat po.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you so much, John Vic. Ang susunod, ma'am, si Jody po, Agoncillo ng Inquirer. Go ahead, Jody.
Hi ma'am. Hi, Secretary
Hi.
Bion. Good afternoon po. Ma'am, actually nasagot na po yung sa IRR. Nabanggit lang po kasi in a Senate meeting or hearing ni Senator Francis Tolentino na wala pa raw pong, aside from the IRR, wala pa raw daw pong public consultations with teachers and students.
We cannot say that because we, as I said, sa social media, the teachers are talking to us all the time. The parents are talking to us all the time, and we conduct surveys. We cannot get together in the usual consultation. Dati kasi we would have annual conferences on education. You have thousands of people gathered in one place and going through all the challenges, the problems, the excitement of education. Hindi natin yan magagawa. Marami tayong ginagawa virtually. At saka, pinofocus natin sa mga sitwasyon sa regions. At saka ang mga regions, yun ang nagko-conduct ng mga consultations at their level. Dahil magkaiba yung situation. Like on the matter, for example, of, as I said, yung mga risk assessments. You would have one region na isang syudad napakataas ng level ng COVID, but the surrounding provinces are halos wala, no? And then of course you wonder. And on the matter, for example, of the use of schoolhouses, we have provinces and local governments who do not ask to use our schoolhouses, while there are those who want to use all our schoolhouses. So itong mga bagay na ito, hindi natin magawa na yung mass consultation na nasanayan na natin. At binibigyan naman tayo ng feedback dahil nga sa napaka-active sa social media, ang daming sulat na natatanggap natin, at saka immediate, very fast, at saka yung consultation, ang daming hearings, halos araw-araw mayroong hearing in both houses wherein affected sectors are also invited and they also say their piece. So hindi natin masasabing walang consultation dahil mismo ang Senado nagkokonsulta, mismo ang Congress nagkokonsulta, mismo kami nagkokonsulta. At saka yung recommendations namin na binigay sa Presidente is based also on consultations. Hindi naman yan produkto sa utak ni Briones, no? Yung recommendations at saka yung analysis is the entire MANCOM na inupuan talaga yon, at saka tinitingnan nila, nagre-report sila kung anong nangyayari. There are 17 regions. Each of them reports on what is happening in the region. Whenever we meet, and then we tell them to consult the parents, hindi pwedeng hindi sila magkukonsulta kasi sa paggawa ng material, sa pangangailangan ng space, kailangan ikonsulta din ang local governments. You will recall there was a period na I was batting really for face-to-face, diba? That's why I was transmitting the requests of local governments. Mga league of city mayors, for example, wanted face-to-face, and also international schools wanted face-to-face. That, I believe, is consultation. Pero hindi yung libo-libo. These are various groups who go to us or we go to them, and it's happening all the time, practically 24 hours a day.
Thank you very much, Secretary.
you.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am, thank you. Ma'am, in 2017, there are 4 million dropouts. And because of the pandemic, some teachers from the University of the Philippines said that this might double because of the pandemic, dahil takot nga sila and mas prefer daw po nila yung face-to-face classes. And some teachers said they're proposing to postpone the classes because they are not yet ready yet because of the modules. There's a different module that is designed for ALS learners. So how do we respond to these challenges, ma'am?
Ang alternative learning systems for those who cannot go to school sa regular manner is a very special legacy program of the president. He has an interest in those who are not able to go through the usual ways of going to school. It is true na bumaba ang numbers, and this is largely because of the downturn in the economy. Kasi marami sa mga ALS students natin work during the day or work at odd hours, mga fishermen, mga factory workers, and they are also kasama doon ang mga mature people. And nung nawalan sila ng trabaho, nawalan din sila ng time para sa pag-enroll. Pero makahabol sila, and we are now conducting a very vigorous campaign. Our numbers also are improving very much. Hindi na maaabot, hindi na ka na magbibilang ng milyon-milyon dyan. Yung milyon-milyon dyan, nangyari yan sa yung galing sa private sector. Halimbawa, nababawasan na yon dahil bumubuti naman ang ekonomiya. So ang tanong anong gagawin natin itong hindi sila makapasok? Pinapaalam namin sa kanila na nandyan pa rin ang alternative learning systems. Pwede silang, ang kabutihan ng alternative learning, pwede silang pumasok at any time. At saka may sarili silang assessment tests. At saka ngayon, as I said, the numbers are so much better than last June. Halimbawa, dahil the economy is improving, at saka yung mga nagsisiuwian sa probinsya, alam nila na may ALS din sa kanilang probinsya, sa kanilang bayan. At saka local governments are all out in helping them. Nandyan din si Department of Labor and Employment na tumutulong din. Nandyan ang TESDA. Ang TESDA nagbibigay ng training and upskilling sa mga vocational skills na kailangan ng mga workers natin. It's not as if forever and ever mayroon tayong milyon-milyon. Hindi na milyon-milyon ang binibilang natin ngayon dahil nag-improve na ang sitwasyon. Alam na ng mga tao, pag uwi nila, mayroon silang opportunity also to participate in the ALS program. At saka ang kabuntihan, as I said, they can come in any time. May sarili silang examinations, may sarili silang mga teachers. Oo. So sa palagay ko, bababa yung mga numero na yan. At bumababa naman.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. And thank you so much, Jody. That's Jody Consiglio from Inquirer, ma'am. Ang susunod na magtatanong ay si Bons Magsambol ng Rappler. Bons?
Hello po, Secretary Briones. Good PM.
Hi, Bon.
Ma'am, I just want to clarify, why po October 5 yung napili natin? This adjustment po ba will be enough for the printing of the modules and the other preparations for the other modes of learning?
Yes, kinakalculate namin yan. Actually, ang hinihingi halimbawa ng Region 4, ang hiningi ng Region 4 ay up to September 7. September 7. Tapos, ang hinihingi naman ng NCR is 1 more week. Pero sa isip namin, mabuti nang magbigay tayo ng allowance kasi because of the impact on our logistical requirements and activities. Dahil nga skeleton force na lang ang nag-ooperate ngayon at saka yung pag-produce ng materials, etc. So nagbigay tayo ng allowance para hindi na naman sasabihin pag umpisa natin sa September, kung halimbawa September, sasabihin na naman na hindi tayo handa. By October, talagang handang-handa tayo. And kami nga, pero it does not have to be taken seriously. October the month of October has very significant importance for not only for us but also for the rest of the world. No, maraming diyan ang the month of October. Hopefully tapos na yung mga ulan, tapos na yung mga difficulties. Ang inaano namin kasi nakasalalay kasi sa COVID eh. Lahat na ito, ang COVID naman ang nag-trigger. So hopefully by October, rather than baka alanganin naman kung isang buwan lang ang i-allot natin sa pag-improve ng COVID situation, talagang pinaluwagan natin yan. At yun ang ating yun ang desisyon ng presidente because he wants as much time as possible na ma-enhance talaga ang protection ng mga bata at saka yung mga teachers.
Okay. Okay. Ma'am, for my next question, I just want to clarify. You said earlier that this applies both to private and the public schools with the exemption of those basic education curriculum na under the CHED or under the universities. In that assumption po, paano po yung mga private schools na hindi Ateneo or LaSalle or other big schools po na private or under big universities? Pwede po ba silang...
Nasabi na namin yan noon pa when we were saying na we have to stick to August 24. Sinabi na namin na may nagbubukas ng June. And nag-uumpisa na sila ng June. Ngayon, nandyan na, nakaumpisa na sila. It will be a great source of disappointment for the learners kung titigilan mo yan. At saka nakaboilo na sila, kumbaga. Kasi it takes time for a child to boilo into the learning mode. Lalo na ngayong 5 buwan sila na hindi pumapasok. So ang aming internal policy niyan kung nakakaumpisa na sila at umuobra naman, but they have to comply with the requirements of the MECQ or of the Department of Health. So magko-comply sila kasi otherwise sasabihin na naman na wala kaming puso, mga monster kami, ini-expose yung mga teacher, etc. etc. Sa MECQ, kung bawal mag-move around, hindi sila maka-move around. Tsaka yung mga bata talaga, sinasabi na natin na walang face-to-face, kailangan wala silang face-to-face. Originally, ang mga private schools, kasi sanay na sila sa blended learning. Dahil matagal na namang strategy itong blended learning. Sanay na sila na mayroon talagang component ng face-to-face yung kanilang mga curricula. Pero ngayon, they will have to comply with the requirement na walang